Hi, my name is Adam from Group 6, and here I am joined by my colleague Farel and Abid. In this video, we'll walk you through our project on finite element analysis of the human stomach. This project was inspired by the challenge faced by people with gastric ulcers, which can lead to perforation or holes in the stomach lining. Our goal is to determine the stress distribution inside the stomach and the critical stomach thickness needed to prevent rupture under internal pressure. My friend Farel here will talk you through the project.
Thank you, Adam. First, we need to determine the stomach model. We looked at actual stomach photographs and determined that it is mainly supported by the esophagus and duodenum. It is also surrounded by soft tissue, but in this simulation, we will omit them. The stomach material is made from a hyperelastic viscoelastic anisotropic material. The hyperelastic material properties are determined using data from research papers and modified by iteration to fit experimental data using a tensile test simulation in Abaqus. The viscoelastic properties are determined from research papers, and the material is assumed to be homogeneous on the stomach. Here is the first simulation model to determine the stress distribution. The elements are shell elements with initial thickness of 4 mm. Shell is used because the anisotropic hyperelastic simulation can only be done using shell elements. The simulation type is explicit. Fixed boundaries are defined on the esophagus and duodenum parts. The load is defined using an analytical expression, and the amplitude is a ramp distribution using a table. The orientation is assumed to follow the general curve of the stomach. Two steps of the simulation. The first is gravity and the second is pressure application. Here is the result from the first simulation. The second simulation is the simplified model using direct loads on the stomach skin. This simulation failed. We have tried different measures and loading periods up until 60 seconds, but still resulted in diverging and unrealistic results. We suspect that this is due to the hyperelastic exponential stress property, creating huge forces when the force is increased. The failure criterion is determined to be max stress, but it is not possible to implement on the hyperelastic model without using a subroutine. The subroutine have been created, but due to the effort for and compiler discontinuation, it cannot be implemented on this simulation.
Well, thank you, Farel, for the really thorough project explanation, and that's it for Group 6. Thank you.